Batman 3 Jokers Issue 1 sees Batman crash the Batmobile into where his parents' graves are outside Wayne Manor. Limping inside where, in the cave, Alfred reassures Bruce he will fix his parents' burial markers later as he gets Bruce out of the costume, cutting it off him and learning this time it was an umbrella that caused the gaping wound in his side. He remembers how he got all of the scars that cover his body, each telling their own story, but the Joker caused the most scars out of his rogues gallery. He hears the villain laugh as Bruce is transported back to the night his parents died, where he himself is laughing, telling his parents he's laughing because the Mark of Zorro was one of the greatest things he has ever seen. They soon find that their car in the alley has been moved, so walking down the alley a little further, they are confronted by a man with a gun, who demands their money and Martha's pearls. Thomas offers to help the man, but he kills him and Martha, turning the gun on the boy, but scared, the man runs off. Bruce is snapped back to reality by the news, which sees the last members of the Moxon crime family executed at a restaurant, with reports that it was the Joker who did it, still continuing his war of chaos against organized crime that began all those years before. The news reports that the Moxon crime family were accused of orchestrating the murders of the Waynes, but they were exonerated thanks to Joe Chill confessing to the entire thing alone, spending his life in Blackgate. Elsewhere, Barbara Gordon hits the gym, watching the TVs as she runs. The news runs a report about many Americans suffering from restless leg syndrome, but then shifts to the murder of a comedian by the Joker, who live streamed it to the city. The comedian is noted for performing in an oversized bat suit early on in his career. Listening to the news, Barbara begins running faster and faster, so fast that she breaks yet another treadmill. Later in the showers, Barbara is reminded of the gunshot wound Joker gave her all those years ago, all to prove a point. In a graveyard, Red Hood battles a group of Joker goons, finding them too soft, as yet another report of another Joker sighting is broken, this time seeing the villain at Ace Chemical, where he has murdered a group of people. Jason is soon subdued by the goons, who pick up the man's gun and plan on using it on him. Jason remembers being beaten over and over by the Joker as he smashes the goon's face in, grabbing one of them and using him as a shield as another one fires the gun at him. Breaking arms and faces, Red Hood finishes the men off, learning they don't know where the Joker is. Jason figured as much, but he still wanted to stretch his legs. At Ace Chemicals, Gordon and Bullock and the rest of GCPD find a group of 3 men all dressed up like the original Red Hood. Harvey wants to know what's happening here, since there's no way Joker could have taken down the crime family, the comedian, and poisoned these 3 men at the exact same time. Gordon knows that he must be working with 2 imposters. The officers around the men discuss the 3 crimes and how they each seem exactly like how Joker would do them, so there is doubts that it's imposters doing it. Batman appears, looking over the men, but he knows that thanks to the chemicals that bleach their skin, any DNA testing or fingerprint testing to prove their identities will be corrupt, same with the nerve damage breaking their jaws into smiles and making dental records impossible to match, meaning now, like Joker, the men are unidentifiable. Batman seemingly begins talking to himself, telling whomever he is talking to that the men were homeless and that these men were chosen to represent the 3 men who were there that night. Batman knows Joker wants them focusing on this and not the truck that was stolen, as Batgirl above the crime scene tells Gordon that Batman has been talking to him, finding where the Joker fell all those years ago and became the madman he is today. Batgirl says that the Joker knew where all the cameras were in the facility, making sure she was spotted on them, and it's why he was seen at the Moxon murder and on the live stream. The Joker wanted to be seen at all 3 incidents. She tells Batman that the chemical vat was empty and the tanker was gone, so Gordon tells her that they will do everything to keep a lookout for the tanker, wondering what about the other crime scenes. Batman won't know until his investigation is up, but Barbara says the chemicals kept in the tank weren't in the records, something that apparently happens all the time at Ace Chemicals. But Batman knows the chemical was a similar mix to the one that created the Joker. Suddenly, one of the supposed dead men begins cackling, causing the officers to rush him into an ambulance, as Batman says that he will head to the comedian's crime scene and escort the ambulance on the way. The heroes take off and Bruce contacts Barbara, telling her that she doesn't need to do this, but she isn't going to let the Joker's stand-in hurt anyone else. Bruce says that he saw a disappointed look on Jim's eyes, asking if Jim knows she's Batgirl, but Barbara says he definitely definitely doesn't, since he's just as disturbed as they are, since whenever Joker is involved, they always prepare for the worst. In the ambulance, one of the EMTs strangles the Joker-fied man. The EMT is revealed to be Red Hood, who says Joker took everything from him and he's going to finally stop him, demanding the man tell him what the Joker said to him before being Joker-fied. The ambulance swerves into the Batmobile, alerting Batman and Batgirl. Batman jumps onto the ambulance, confronting Red Hood and demanding he stop and let the man go. Jason refuses, battling Batman as Batgirl slashes the ambulance's tires, stopping it in its tracks. Elsewhere, Joker drives the stolen chemical truck deep into the woods, coming across a small cabin, where upon knocking on its door, he's greeted by another Joker, delivering him a roadkill joke, which the Hawaiian shirt-wearing Joker already knew, having been the one who wrote it. The trucker Joker says that he's wearing his shirt, but the Hawaiian Joker says that taking the credit is his greatest act of madness so far, but it's nothing to compare to what the boss has coming next. Batman meanwhile administers the antidote to the Joker-fied man, apologizing to the EMT about Red Hood. Batgirl confronts Red Hood, demanding an explanation, but Jason says that he was trying to find the Joker before he kills again. Barbara doesn't like the idea of interrogating victims, but the man says that man wasn't much of a victim, since he's got a rap sheet that includes domestic violence against his own child. Batman confronts him, learning Jason was on Joker's trail before he came to Ace Chemicals, something he and Barbara have been doing as well. He knows the Joker isn't doing this alone, and neither should they. The Jokers meanwhile meet with the boss, learning that they will be doing what they always do, making a better Joker. The boss says that one of the Jokers will set up the factory and the other will help him with their casting call, planning on making a Joker with more meaning this time. Removing a coin, the third Joker flips it, but both Jokers call heads, meaning they both win. He tells one to come with him while the other draws the baths, as at Gotham Aquarium, the Bat family investigate the closed building, finding it had been shut down by a leak on the mains, a leak caused by the Joker's men that Jason beat up. Bruce is impressed with Jason's detective work, wishing he had shared his information sooner, but Jason reminds him that Batman always goes after Joker alone. Bruce says that was before there was more of them. Heading into the aquarium, Jason says that this isn't any different from any other time Joker has turned someone insane, but Batman says that these Jokers seem to have a motive and they are in total control of what they are doing. Jason comments about Bruce's light up bat signal on his chest giving them away, but Bruce reminds him not to assume anything they face tonight will be the usual. Soon they come across some fish that have been Joker-fied, along with a great white shark. Jason's helmet tells him security doors have been opened across the facility, and Batman knows they are there as Gaggy, Joker's court jester, and his men arrive. The men open fire on Batman, cracking the glass behind them as Gaggy orders them to leave Jason for him. The Bat family fight the goons as the glass continues to crack from the bullet holes. Gaggy manages to taser Red Hood, but before the jester can have any more fun with the hero, Jason shoots the glass behind him, causing him to be eaten by the Joker-fied great white shark. Batman scolds Jason, since Gaggy might have known where the chemicals were, but Jason thinks that they are all in the water, which is now swirling down the drain. Batman knows that tank couldn't have held all of the chemicals as a Joker appears, throwing some Joker-fied piranha on the Dark Knight. He smashes Jason in the head with the glass bowl, attacking the man and trying to pry off his mask, wanting to look into his eyes again. Batman and Batgirl punch Joker, tackling him through a window and knocking him out cold. Barbara asks if that's the real Joker, but Batman looks at everything they have seen so far from him, from the look, the smile, and the laughing fish. Barbara knows that while Joker changes appearances, his motives are straight as a river. Jason comes in, upset that he wasn't the one to take him down, attacking the knocked out man, but Barbara stops him. Batman is contacted by Gordon, telling him that they have one of the Jokers in hand, while Gordon tells him that they have one cornered elsewhere in the city. Batman tells him that he will be right there, telling Batgirl and Red Hood to secure this Joker for Arkham transport, but make sure that they search him thoroughly. Later, after the two heroes have tied him to a chair, Jason knows that this Joker is different from the last time, finding this Joker to be thinner, and having not known his real name, how can they be sure that this is indeed the real Joker? And what if there always has been more than one? As Jason looks over the very outdated tricks this Joker plays with, the Joker tries to hit him with his acid-spraying flower, cackling that these are the classics. Jason searches the man's pockets, sworn to look for traps, but Joker says that he himself is the trap, since he's the cycle of pain each of them is trapped in, asking Barbara if she ever wonders why Red Hood uses his former moniker now, since who in their right mind would take the name of a killer? Jason says that he's owning what Joker did to him, saying that he will be his destruction. Jason pulls one of his pistols from its holster, telling Barbara nothing is going to change until they break the cycle of pain. He readies to shoot Joker, who goads him on, telling him Batman isn't there to stop him. Barbara pleads with Jason to stop, but Joker continues to talk about how he killed Robin and Batman arrested him and took him to Arkham, and that was that. Until it wasn't, since Jason survived and lived to fight another day. Or it's maybe because Joker beat him to the edge of his life, because he wanted to leave the man alive, since if he killed him, there would be no more opportunity to hurt him, and in turn, hurt Batman, since Batman is all that matters, not Jason Todd. He asks if Jason remembers the words he said to him while he was beating his head in. Jason tells the man to shut up, but Joker reminds Jason that he pleaded for his life, saying that he will be Joker's Robin. Joker laughs loudly as Jason remembers, suddenly attacked by Batgirl, who tries to disarm him, but nothing works as Jason pulls the trigger on his gun, shooting the Joker right through the head. The man falls over dead as Batgirl demands to know what Jason just did. Jason says that he ended the cycle, and he knows Barbara would have wanted this just as much as him. Barbara says that she didn't, but Jason asks when the last time Batgirl missed, showing her the batarang she threw completely missed him. Teary-eyed, Barbara leaves Jason, who looks over the body, really hoping the Joker he just killed was the right one. Batman 3 Jokers issue 1 finally revealed the huge mystery that's been teased for literal years. Why are there 3 Jokers, as Batman and the family investigate 3 appearances of 3 Jokers all at the same time? I love the focus on the detective work here, as well as the characters involved, all of which have had run-ins with a Joker in the past, run-ins which have changed their lives forever. It's cool that because of that, we get the kind of unconventional team of Batman, Red Hood, and Batgirl, which thanks to Jeff Johns' snappy writing is a great combination, and they work really well together, despite seldom being seen together in other books. Johns tapping into all 3 eras these Jokers represent is a lot of fun as well, and it's great seeing a Joker just play with Jason and kind of get into his head and under his skin, forcing him to, in the end, actually kill him, which was something that kind of shocked me, that a Joker was killed, though the book keeps you guessing throughout the issue that if it was indeed the real Joker or not, and I love that you never really know who is who. However, there are little clues sprinkled throughout the book, like one Joker is, as Jason says, thinner than the others, and one has a slightly larger smile than the others, and hair kind of looks a little bit different, it's a different shade of green slightly. I'm excited for the next part of the story, and hopefully there won't be any more delays, since the next 2 issues are going to be pretty big, I think. I'm going to give this issue a 9.5 out of 10.